Well, Craig, we've been sitting here talking for a few minutes, getting acquainted, because I've never met you before. So obviously you have not met me. That kind of follows, doesn't it?
It's nice to meet you, though, Bobbie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I just have a feeling that once the public out there sees you in Body Double, that it's just going to turn your career around 180 degrees. And by that I mean that everybody's going to know, oh, Craig Wasson, yeah, the guy in Body Double. Now, do you have that feeling at all?
Yeah, I that could happen. I've been in some other films that I thought, oh boy, you know, this is a film, and but I've never felt better about a film than I do about Body Double. I really am proud to be part of it, and whatever happens, happens, you know. But I love the film personally. Yeah.
Did you think that Ghost Story would do that for you, or for Friends?
I thought it might, but the distribution and the way that they worked out didn't work out quite the way I thought. When I saw Ghost Story, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. You know, I thought it was going to be scarier. Ghost Story, you'd expect it to be scary, but
Does this one come off the way you thought it would?
yeah, I like it. It's like a roller coaster ride, you know, emotionally, and it's really intriguing to me. It's a lot of suspense and a lot of mystery. I like that. And it's brave too. There is violence in it, and it's horrifying kind of violence. But then, violence is horrifying, right? I think violence, if you're going to see it on screen, should be horrifying, not palatable like the stuff you see sometimes. Say like at night on your home with the family, and the police shows are on, and people are shooting at each other, and then you go to dinner, and do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the point you're probably getting at is that if violence is portrayed really as ugly as it is,
right,
then people
will be
say,
repelled
they're
by it.
aghast.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice to see somebody really react to it, you know. Like in the audience last night, there were people when some of the violence happens like, oh, no, no, you know, and that's the way you should react to violence, right? And the story is all about a guy who is trying to break through his own inactivity and do something about stopping that violence. So I think it's a move in the right direction.
Has your career been, the man you play is a struggling actor, has your career paralleled that at all?
Sure, and everybody's life is a struggle, you know, in one way or another, and it's nice in the film. There's some scenes in there that are kind of bang on in terms of what it's like to go to auditions and things like that.
Were there lots of people up for this role, Craig?
I imagine so. Yeah, I auditioned. I did a screen test. Got the part. I was very happy.
When you were testing, did you get direction from De Palma, or did you just have to kind of go with your own instincts?
No, he gave direction. He's wonderful to work with. He's the best film director I've ever had the privilege of working with, and I've had the privilege of working with some really good ones. But he's, to me, the best that I've ever worked with.
Now, who are some of the other film directors you've worked with?
Arthur Penn and Sidney Furie, John Irvin, a lot of others.
De Palma, I don't know Brian De Palma that well. I've interviewed him a few times. The picture I get of him, Craig, is that he's very intense. There's a kind of dark side to this man. You know, am I on track, or is there, and I've never seen him smile, never.
You're kidding.
I've never seen him smile.
Well, maybe he feels nervous being on TV. I don't know. I feel kind of nervous being on TV sometimes. But the way I look at it is this, it's like, today we have an art form called film, right? And say like back in the Renaissance, there were paintings, great painters, and they painted on canvas. But now we have artists who paint on celluloid. And I think he's one of the artists of our time, and I feel very privileged to have worked with him, whether he's silent sometimes or whether he has a dark streak or whatever. He's a great guy and a great artist, and I think he made a great film.
He is very controversial. Do you think that that bothers him in the least?
Well, Beethoven was controversial. You know, a lot of things are controversial. It's nice to see something that goes out that gets a reaction. It seems like there are a lot of times in society today that inaction seems to be the order of the day. You know, things happen, yawn, yeah, right. I'm not impressed, I'm not moved, I feel nothing, you know. But he puts something out there that makes you feel something now. It may make you feel good, may make you feel bad, may make you feel, but it makes you feel. It's like a roller coaster ride, you know. Everybody watching this show, we could all go down to the carnival, you know, and get on a roller coaster. And some people would like the ride, and some people wouldn't. But I don't think there's anybody that goes on a good roller coaster ride that isn't going to feel something. And that's the way this film is. It picks you up and takes you, you know.
Did he have to make, or what changes, I should say, did he make to get it from an X to an R? Do you know?
I don't know. What I saw is what we shot.
So you think it's the picture he intended to make without any compromises?
As far as I know, I wasn't in on the editing. You know, I was off traveling around the country. I like to drive. I love driving down south too, and it's interesting because this show is in Dallas, right?
Dallas, Fort Worth. Uh-huh.
I love the South. I really do, and I find lots of times on television there's always this kind of cliche of the South being this way or that way, and that they're unfriendly or that they're, and that's crazy. I mean, I've driven to the South; they're the nicest people I've ever met. So that's just an interesting example of how sometimes. In other words, it's kind of like the press on the South. I'm trying to make an analogy with the advance press on Palma. You know, about him maybe being, you know, violent or a dark person or something. He's a great guy. And he's made a great film, in my opinion. And just like the South, people are great, and they're a great bunch of people.
Well, Greg, what a nice night nice note to end on. So, again, congratulations on a really spectacular performance in Body Double.
Well, thanks, Bobbie.
And we'll be hearing more from you, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Nice. Nice. Do you feel that this film is going to do more for your... Do you feel that this film is going to do more for your career than other films you've made? Has your own career been as much of a struggle as the man you're playing in Body Double? As I know Brian De Palma, I see him as a man with a kind of dark side, a very intense man, and I've never seen him smile. Do you think that De Palma is bothered by the fact that his films are so controversial? What is your reaction to the violence in this film? Were many people considered for this role, Craig? Which other directors have you worked with? Okay, I'll just give you reactions now.
You want to do the framing at all?
No.
Covered them all and did laughing, smiling, happy, interested.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect timing.